Hello and welcome back to Dreamforge World. In today's lesson, you're going to finally publish your site at Vercel, and I'll take an example of where I built a portfolio for myself and then uploaded it to Vercel. And I'll also show you how you can assign an optional custom domain if that's something that you want. Okay, so let me disable the camera to not be in the way. So head over to Agentic App Builders. And we're going to go live on Vercel in this lesson. So let's review the learning objectives together. So you're going to import your GitHub repository into Vercel. You're going to trigger your first deployment and reach the public URL. You're going to understand what Vercel actually does on each push. You're going to know where to find the option to add a custom domain. So this is the lesson where your site stops being yours alone and you're going to share it with the public and the world. So what Vercel does in plain English. When you push a commit to GitHub Vercel, what happens is the following. Notices the push because you connected your GitHub account. Download a fresh copy of your code. Vercel will run npm install and npm run build on each service, which is why you don't have to push the node modules. It will compile it for you. It will serve the build result at a public URL or at vercel.app, which is free. You do nothing during these steps except watch a progress bar. The full cycle takes only a minute or two. My experience is, for instance, when I publish this app, the Dreamforge Academy, it takes about 2.5 minutes. You can watch the build to go from yellow, which is busy, to green, which is clear, no errors, and red if there was a build error. If you do get build errors, just copy those errors to your agent and tell him I received these errors, and he will fix it. So what I want you to do is head on over to this URL. I'm going to show the example of my portfolio that I've already done, but the steps is basically the same. So I'll open this and you will land here. If you don't yet have an account, then you will be asked to create an account at Vercel and then pick the hobby plan because that's how you can start for free. So here's an example of one of my projects. Like I said, my portfolio. As you can see, I'm also using the hobby plan for this. My project name is here, and you can use this drop down to see all your projects. You can see that I've chosen a domain or a subdomain, in this case, Emil. I own the domain dreamforgeworld.com, which is hosted on Vercel, and they handle the DNS, which is the domain name services also, which makes it really very simple to do with even understanding what domain name services are. But just as a background for people who don't know, that resolves IP addresses to host names or server names and vice versa. So if people know the IP address, they can find out the server name, or if they know the server name, it can find out the IP address. And that's how the internet communicates and connects hosts to each other. That's just for background. The domain you can check your logs here, by the way. Your deployments of all your products and projects will be shown here. As you can see, green button indicate that it was okay, no errors. You should look at the logs in case you do have errors, and any logs that might appear will appear here, and then use the copy button to give to your agent. The domains that you have, you can sign up here. You can buy a domain here. I think it's only $10 or $11 per year. So I've got this domain. You can edit the details if you want, which I'm not going to show. You can add storage, so you can create databases later on when you get more advanced. You can connect blobs or binary large object storage, which is basically to store files, but you also work through here. Or you can just tell your agent that you need to set up a repository or a blob for storing images or sound files or documents, something that doesn't fit in a database. If you do want a database, I recommend using Neon, and there's plenty of good documentation on the Vercel website to go deeper into that. So just work through these steps, and then you'll be able to link your GitHub with your Vercel. And then what happens is when you push your repository from your local drive to GitHub, and it links to Vercel, the build will automatically be triggered. If it doesn't, tell your agent that you are trying to integrate GitHub with Vercel in such a way that when you push your changes or updates, that the deploy must start on Vercel automatically. And if it still doesn't want to do it, or you might see that it prompts you to install the CLI, which is the Vercel command line interface, just tell it to install the CLI and use the CLI. This way the agent can do the work for you and you don't even have to do it manually. Just make sure that you confirm your project settings for the name, the framework. It should already say Next.js. Leave this alone. The root directory should be the project root. Most of the time you can leave this alone. The environment variables is empty for this course, but later on when you do database applications and you need to take payments or you need to send an email with resend, then you will set environment variables. More on that later. Then you'll just click deploy. You'll come back to Vercel and watch the build. And by default, it will do your application.vercel.app. And this is free, so you don't need the domain that I have, for example. You can even have more than one. So I've chosen to use the subdomain emil.dreamforgeschool.com, but here it says +1. So that means that you can also use the Vercel version, in this case, emil-portfolio-8.vercel.app. So that's the one they give you for free while you're developing and testing. And when you build something that you want to commercialize perhaps, or want to have your own domain, then go with the domain and the subdomain. So while we're here, you can also check your usage. This is found in the sidebar under usage. And there's extensive usage analytics and information that you can keep an eye on. But how much space you're taking, how much network your app is using. It's pretty much everything you could ever want to know about your app. So I'll just let it scroll through a little bit just to give you a quick overview, but check it out for yourself. It's pretty extensive. And then down here, you will find blob and storage to store actual files if you need to store files as well. Cron jobs is if you want to run something on a schedule, and this way it could wake up every 4 o'clock in the morning on Universal time and make a backup of your app, for example, or anything that can be run on a schedule. But more advanced, not covered in this lesson. So once the build is green, you're going to see if it works on the internet. You're going to open the test public URL on your phone or on an iPad or on another computer. And remember, this is now after you've tested on localhost 3000, which is only visible on your computer and the world can't see it. So if you want to make a change and watch it auto deploy, you can go back into your VS Code Studio or your IDE of choice. You can go to the source app page TSX, then you save it, and then in the terminal type git add dot, then git commit -m, which is a message, and made a small tweak, and then git push, or you just cut and paste this to your agent and say, hey, I made a small change, can you push this back up to GitHub, which will trigger the Vercel deployment. Then you open your Vercel in the browser and look at the deployments tab, and within seconds you will see a new deployment marked building. Wait roughly a minute or so, like I said. If for larger applications that can take 2 or 3 minutes, just depends. But when it's green, then you can just hit refresh and go to your URL that by default will end with .vercel.app. So your app.vercel.app. This is the most important loop in modern web development, where you basically push to your GitHub, Vercel deploy it automatically, and the world see your changes. So let's go through this now together on custom domains as a reminder. So if you want a domain like yourname.com instead of yourname.vercel.app, you buy the domain from anywhere. You don't have to buy it on Vercel. You can buy it at Namecheap, Cloudflare, Google Domain Successor, GoDaddy, anywhere. And then you can even buy your domain on Vercel if you don't want to deal with DNS or DNS changes. It's not very difficult to do that, and you can find plenty of information on the internet or ask your agent how to update your DNS. But the simplest way and the cheapest way actually is just to let Vercel own the domain and now do the DNS for you. So some common mistakes that I've seen people make: trying to import a repository before you push the code to it. The import will succeed, but the deployment will fail because there's no source files, right? So you have to push it first, then import. Editing your environment variables for a project that doesn't need any. For this lesson and for this course, you don't need any, so just leave them empty. Worrying about a yellow warning in the build log. Yellow means note. Only red is an issue you should really address. You, for the most part, can ignore yellow warnings. They are not app breaking. If you're not sure, ask your agent if it's safe to ignore a yellow warning and give him the yellow warning. So sharing the preview URL, which changes on every push, instead of the production URL, which stays stable. The production URL is a short one without a hash. You can always copy it from the project main page on Vercel. Do not share the preview URL. If something goes wrong, you can also go back to a previous production URL if the current one is broken in Vercel. So your assignment then, you go to vercel.com/new, you import your GitHub repository. I recommend you read the documentation that they provide as well as needed. Click deploy with default settings, wait for the build. You visit your URL, you can test it on a phone or an iPad or ask somebody else to test it. Then, like I said, you make a small change, you commit again, you push and confirm that the new deployment fires automatically. I'll give a quick demonstration about that in a minute. So you save the production URL somewhere, you will paste it into the course's final lesson submission. Then I recommend you go through the quiz on your own time and mark the lesson as complete. So as a quick practical demo, just in case that helps you out, you go to the project folder where your application is. If you're using VS Code, you type code dot, wait for VS Code to load up. And so here we are. So if you want to make a small change, you can see your files over here. You can see the Git source control status over here. For example, I've shrunk the hero size heading by 15% just 47 minutes ago. Now, in my case, this is a static page. So if I go over here and I find the index.html and I right click, I reveal in Explorer, I'll bring it over here and I double click it, you can now see that that small change of this text over here has been applied locally. So let's make a very small change for demonstration. For instance, I'm looking at my site just from the local drive. You can also look at it on localhost if it's a running site. But since this is a static page and the one that you're learning in this course, we'll do it this way. So I'll copy that. And so I just copied that and pasted that to the coding agent. And I say, can you change this? And I put it in single quotes to this. The only change I made was really to capitalize this A, just to demonstrate to you guys. But it can be anything that you want. So let him do the change. So you will go and search for that piece of text, and there we see capital A. Now, like I said, if this is a more complicated site, you won't open it like an index HTML. You will run it on your local host and open it there, as you'll discover, and as I mentioned in parts of this course already. Let's keep this simple. And now you'll see that there's one change in source control, one pending change. So if you click on that, it correctly shows that it's modified the index HTML file. And you can click commit here, but you can also tell your agent. So let's say commit and push. And as I do this, I'll switch over to Vercel so that you can see how it's building. Hopefully we catch it in time. It may ask you to confirm. Now it's going to synchronize, and it has committed and pushed. And there we see the yellow building is in progress and ready. So within 5 seconds, it's ready. So we can click into it. Now, if I visit the site, there's the capital A. Now, if it doesn't immediately show the changes you've made, just hit refresh, or on Windows, Control-Shift-R to do a hard refresh. And that's how simple the loop is. You make a change, you commit and push, and Vercel builds the application for you. So at the end of this lesson, just go through the quiz on your own time. And when you're done, mark it as complete. And we'll see you in the next one with iterating like a pro. So I pretty much gave the secret away already. You build on localhost, you commit, you push, you associate your GitHub with Vercel, and you build and you publish to either a custom domain, a subdomain, or the Vercel.app domain. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.